Hi, this is Derek doing another review for HorrorNerds.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing I Saw the Devil, a Korean crime drama thriller / most of all horror movie, directed by the legendary Ji-Woon Kim. If you don't know who Ji-Woon Kim is, you haven't seen an Asian horror movie. He is responsible for one of the top 5, if not one of the greatest all-time scary films and most essential horror movies ever made, Tale of Two Sisters. This is the guy who did that movie, to give you some ideas of what this film would possibly entail without even seeing a single frame of it. He also recently has done Doomsday Book, which I've also provided a review for, so go check that out when you get a chance. Anyways, this movie basically is a revenge flick, but a revenge flick in a way that possibly hasn't been done before. It stars Byung-hun Lee, who is the gentleman who is a police officer of sorts, whose beautiful fiance was brutally murdered by a serial killer played by none other than Old Boy himself, Min Sik Choi, playing the character whose name is Kyung Chol. And again, I apologize for butchering the Korean names. Please don't flame me for that. But I will say this. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do? Min Sik Choi is just unbelievable in this role. In fact, if there were an Oscar equivalent that we could give him, he would be getting it right now. He would have gotten it 10 times over for this film. Hopefully, Korea has recognized him for this role. This movie itself had to be cut down a bit due to censorship in Korea, which I really hate because, yes, I realize Korea is kind of coming into the rebirth with films and everything. They're allowing 50 million times more what they allowed when I was a little kid to be shown on screen, but it still makes you wonder what else our director wanted to show on the screen that was cut. I have seen the uncut version. I'm not really sure if it really technically was uncut. Something tells me there was a lot more going on that we could have seen, but in a way it's not a bad thing, because my only real complaint to this movie is there's about 20 extra minutes in this film that could have easily been taken out. I think other people have said the same thing. It does slow down the pace considerably for what otherwise could have been an essential film, something essential in terms of just the pace being absolutely perfect. That is possibly the only flaw in this film. That, and I would say, and believe me, I'm by no means an extremist when it comes to horror, but it felt like I still wanted to see more of the diabolical side of Min Sik Choi, if for no other reason, just to see him on the screen. I mean, Old Boy's one of my all-time favorite movies. I love the whole Sympathy for Vengeance trilogy, and I would say this, Park Chan-wook's, trilogy, which Min Sik Choi was originally in, it's cookies compared to this. Although I will say that Park Chan-wook has a little bit more to say in Old Boy, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and Lady Vengeance. But this movie has possibly just as much to say in one film than all three of those, just because the idea is, of course, to defy the sense of morals. When this cop loses his fiance and then he goes after the serial killer, sadistically tries to do the same stuff to him as was done to his fiance, is he right for it? I mean, every one of us has a revenge fantasy on some level whenever we're wronged. I can't even imagine if somebody killed somebody I love that deeply, what I would do, especially if I was a cop and had the ability to do the things that a cop could do, against a serial killer, and there's a part of you that will go, yeah, he deserved it, I'm glad he got it, but then there's a part of you that almost, and I say almost, feels pity, except not, because Min Sik Choi does such a wonderful job of creating an absolute horrific nightmare monster. The other thing about this movie that I'll say, because I don't want to give away too much of what happens in case you haven't seen it, is, the characters aren't these, model-looking types per se. I mean, the fiance is pretty hot, but I'd say all the people that die in this film, or, are tortured or whatever, they could be you or me. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary about them, nothing about it, and that sort of adds a little bit of air of reality that you almost, this is a movie you don't want reality, because it's too scary to think of as a reality. It also makes you wonder about the state of Korea and if they really have people like this over there. I mean, we're so cloistered here in America that we wonder, do they have serial killers over in Korea? But with the rash of films coming out in Korea lately about serial killers, you'd seem to think they have more than we do. it's a smaller place. Anyways, this film is excellent. I give it 10 out of 10 if I were to rate it, just simply because it's probably one of the best horror movies I've seen come out in a long time. Actually, maybe I take that back. I give it more about an 8 of 10 because, like I said, it needed about 20 minutes cut. I could have cut it easily, and it still would have been the same exact film. You would have been okay with just what it was. But go watch it. Go see it. If you like Asian horror movies, you don't mind subtitles, this is right at the top of the list of recent movies come out in the past several years that are absolutely required viewing if you are an Asian horror movie lover or a horror movie lover in general. It's going to make you think about the whole idea of revenge in a different way. I mean, the idea of revenge certainly is an age-old theme, but what you see on here, the way, I mean, just even 2 people die, 2 people fight, you know, and blood is spattering everywhere. It's almost, to be honest, it reminded me of Thirst, the Korean vampire movie. There had a real nice sense of almost poetic ballerina-esque type feel to the violence, which made it all the more surreal yet horrific. Anyways, hopefully that's helpful to you. Sort of straight off there on my own thoughts, my apologies, but go see I Saw the Devil, because after you watch it, you will think you've seen the devil. I mean, Min Sik Choi is the devil in this, and it's amazing just for his role alone. This has been Derek, another review for HorrorNerds.com. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.